of the class. It's a title that many admire, but let me share with you a side that most people don't see. From the outside, it looked magnificent, captivating report cards, shining medals, and teachers who trust you to even collect everyone's notebook. I embraced the identity completely until one day I saw that those sleepless nights, constant cramming, and the fear of what others will say if I scored anything less than I did before is just not worth it. Hi, my name is Manali Alhat, and I want to explore how we can reimagine student evaluation, making schools launchpad for creativity, curiosity, and courage. The motivation behind my academic success became clear. Marks. It was not even hard to pretend like I was smart. I just had to be good at memorizing because the intention of learning was left behind before I even knew it. For instance, one of my friends is an incredible actress. I'm not kidding when I say I get literal goosebumps watching her perform. But just because she doesn't always get the top grades, people tend to label her as unintelligent. Marks and grades are not just numbers or letters, they are family intervention topics. A few years back, I used to get frequent migraines. I thought that the reason was bright lights. But after a visit to the pediatrician, the true reason was unveiled: stress. This made me realize the amount of pressure that I had taken upon myself to leave no room for mistakes, making sure I didn't tarnish my perfect. The school system varies greatly around the world. Each country has its unique take on teaching and learning. We could reimagine our systems to work better for us. In maths, we have learned a topic called as differentiation. I'm still questioning about the point of learning it and where it's used in real life. That's why I held a survey of students my age asking them the question, do you know why you are learning what you are learning? As you can see, almost 80% of the results showed no. In case you're wondering, the application of differentiation are to measure growth rates of diseases. The true purpose of education was left far behind, and the focus shifted towards learning something just to pass an exam and then forgetting about it. Which leads me to the most asked question in class. Will this be on the test? If tests didn't even exist, would children sit there being curious about what's being taught, where they can raise their hands without the fear of being wrong, and instead of anticipating passing or failing, learn to embrace learning as a process? Now here's the thing. The Finland's education system actually does something like this. They have ditched the constant standardized test in favor of individualized learning. Instead of endless exams, they focus on continuous assessments like projects, presentations, and group work. More like what a future career of a child will look like. And guess what? Finland happens to be one of the best education systems in the entire world. In a system like this, the letter F won't stand for failure, but rather find another answer. In physics, I'm sure we have all learned that a sharpened knife focuses all of its force onto a tiny point, increasing the pressure to cut through anything. Our life works the same way. When we focus all of our energy on just one tiny thing, like grades, the pressure becomes unbearable. During exam seasons, I found a girl in about second grade crying in the hallways. Just like anyone would, I went to her and I asked her why she was crying. She said that she was scared for her exam. Unlike a knife, we're not built to handle that kind of strain, and often break down just like this. According to India Today, over the span of 10 years, the student suicide rates have increased by 64%. The rise in student suicide can be attributed to a mix of factors, including poor emotional regulation, academic pressure, and competitive environments. That's not just a statistic, that's a crisis. As the burdens of study pile up, we need to unburden ourselves from time to time. Access to counselors helping us to deal with pressure gracefully can really help. In K-12 classes, which are classes from kindergarten to 12th grade, UNESCO has introduced social emotional learning or SEL programs. They help individuals to handle stress, anxiety, and conflict while improving achievement test scores and overall well-being. They have proven to cause a 10% decrease in emotional distress as well as an 11% increase in test scores and well-being. If India wants to harness the potential of its large youthful population, then integrating SEL into schools could be a huge game changer. In chemistry, we were learning to solve numericals involving chemical equations. Few of us grasped the concept very quickly, while me and some of my friends took more time, feeling really stupid. I can only imagine how a child with learning disabilities could crumble under these setups. When education is meant to nurture individuality, it's ironic that the criteria for choosing a school often boils down to its academic record or proximity to home. While these factors may seem practical, they often overshadow the true essence of education, meeting a child's unique needs and aspirations. Today, there are various schooling approaches available to cater to different types of students, from traditional gurukuls that focus on values, life skills, and one-on-one mentoring, to modern Montessori and Waldorf schools that emphasize on creativity and experimental learning. The choices are diverse. Alternative schools, such as Reggio Emilia, focus on exploration, while democratic schools often put autonomy over their education. Homeschooling, too, provides a flexible and a customizable option for families who are seeking a more tailored educational experience. Did you know that many successful people have actually been self-taught, including entrepreneurs, musicians, or even scientists? Open schooling provides the perfect ground for this choice as well. When we tailor a system to fit the student, rather than forcing students to conform to rigid standards, we create a system in which every child has the opportunity to thrive. One of my friend's brother was really passionate about sports, but unfortunately, he was forced to pursue his career as an engineer. This led to him being very distant and ignorant towards everyone. Imagine asking a fish to climb a tree or a cat to bark like a dog. Sounds ridiculous, right? But this is exactly what happens when we compare kids or force them into someone else's idea of success. A fish is happiest swimming, and a cat is happiest purring, just like every child is their happiest excelling in what they're naturally good at. Let us be our awesome, unique selves. Okay, now how many of you have heard of careers like pet psychologists, fillet artist, or even food stylist? Could you raise your hand? Okay, not many of you. Schools can be the hub to introduce kids to a wide range of careers. This could open various doors and give creative minds a pathway that suits their potential. How cool would it be if schools introduced passion periods, a dedicated time in which students could dive into whatever interests them, be it robotics, art, cooking, gardening, or even something super practical like learning how to manage your loans or how to apply for taxes. Imagine competitions in which students can showcase their newfound talents, like Shark Tank for entrepreneurs, MasterChef for student chefs, or Gardening Olympics for green thumbs. Let's be real. 5 years after school, both toppers and non-toppers alike will be scratching our head, wondering why no one taught us these important real-life skills. Passion periods could be a game changer that we're all waiting for. Schools, students, and teachers, we all play an important role in shaping a child's learning journey. It's not just the system that needs a shake-up. It's how we, as a society, define and pursue the idea of success. Imagine a world where students aren't afraid to fail, where they can express themselves freely without judgment. Let's make learning more fun and creative by letting kids take charge, set goals, teach each other, or even do class projects. Because when learning becomes a journey, not a race, we're not just unlocking a child's potential, but we're actually redefining the future for all of us. Thank you.